Hi everybody, welcome back to your FX course. You've completed your first two modules. I hope you learned a lot in the first injury one. The injury one is fun because a lot of those techniques that you learned can translate to the remainder of the modules. So think of that when you're planning future makeup, is how you can use the techniques you've already learned to bring into your next look. Today, I'm joined by Rosie today, and we will be doing some looks based around different illnesses. So different illnesses are very popular. You see them quite frequent on film and television sets, as well as on theater productions. You can tell very easily if you watch film and TV, there's always a scene where someone's in the hospital, someone is sick. It adds a level of drama, so it's a very easy way for a production to add a level of drama and realism to a show. So you do find these things quite often. Some good research you can do for this is looking at film and TV shows that are centered around hospitals. Think of ER or any of that type of show that's on TV that has a very consistent theme being placed in a hospital setting, and you'll get a very good idea of what the viewer is used to seeing as far as illness makeup goes. Now, of course, as always, you want to have your research available on hand because you do want to give the most realistic interpretation of what you will be doing. However, it is important to note that there is a difference between a realistic makeup and a Hollywood expectation of makeup. What that means is simply that realistic makeup is not always dramatic enough for camera. Realistic interpretation of an illness or an injury, for that matter, can sometimes not be enough to read on camera. So a Hollywood expectation, is what we like to call it, is more of an enhanced version of that look. So depending on how you do it, you may make a look that is complete accurate replica of a photo that you see of someone in a morgue, someone in a hospital bed, whatever it may be, but you may need to amplify that a bit for camera purposes, just for giving Hollywood viewers what they're used to seeing, more so than taking it down a bit. That's going to be something that you will determine much more with the director when you're building a look around, and something that you should be determining with them. Today, what we're going to learn are some very common illnesses and how to do them. So we're going to learn how to make it look like someone's been crying, as well as ways to actually make them and help them to produce real tears. We'll be learning how to make it look like someone's been sweaty. We're going to look at if someone has been dead, how they died, things like that. So when you're planning your makeup out, it's important to know all the details. As always, like we've been discussing, you need to know every detail about the injury or the illness or the look that you're creating. For example, if you're making somebody look like they've been crying, how long have they been crying for? Is it their first single tear, or have they been crying for 3 hours and their face is very swollen and puffy at that point? If they're dead, it's important to know how they died, how long they have been dead for, and where they are at that stage. Are they just being found on the scene, or are they on the autopsy table? Things like that will really help you in planning the actual makeup to give you the most realistic effect out of it. So enjoy this next course, and I hope you learn a few things about how to create some new injuries and illnesses to people and take your skills to the next level.